Neon Knights is a game I've had my eyes on for a long time in terms of its lore, and now that it's finally out and I've successfully beaten the game, I feel it's time for me to try and make sense of what in the world is going on in this universe. At first, the lore of Neon Knights was admittedly sporadic and didn't really add up to anything. However, the more I talked to NPCs and read the descriptions of things in the logs, the more it made sense. And now, while I definitely still think there's more lore to come in the future, I think I know what the game is trying to set up for us, what pieces it's putting in place, and how they will come to a head in the future. So sit back, friends, as today I will take you through the dark and tragic lore of Neon Knights. Immediately after starting the game, I wondered what in the world the walls speak your name meant, and while there's not an explicit answer given, we can try and find one ourselves. In the game, you have an NPC companion named Kokoro, who spends most of the game confined to the city's hospital for an unknown reason. Well, after talking to the doctor, Season, after a few runs, she'll reveal that Kokoro is infected with something called wall sickness, which we know some of the symptoms of this are hearing voices in your head. We know that most of the knights just learn to deal with this eventually. We, like most other knights, are being called to destroy the robots. I would assume that the voice from beyond is actually kind of a form of this, voice just kind of in our head. Now, why? Well, I think it has something to do with Flux. For those who don't know, Flux is a material/currency in the game that you first encountered Region 2. According to Holiday, Flux is extremely potent and powerful, and it seems to have mystical properties. We use it to upgrade our weaponry at the Forge, implying that Flux is a source of power for these weapons. But it doesn't stop there. Flux is also the main power source of all hostile robots, as by activating pillars, which I assume are also related to Flux or made out of Flux themselves, enemies will occasionally shed their armor, revealing an ethereal Flux endoskeleton. Given the fact that the walls are also alive and shift whenever pillars are activated, I wouldn't be surprised that the walls themselves also run on Flux. I could also make the assumption that wall sickness must happen for robots too, which is probably the thing that makes them so violent. This is further proven by the fact that not all robots are evil. Example, all the residents of Vertigo High-Rise's town, as well as the fact that very few enemies are actually combat ready. Most of them seem like workers or tools, or literal shipping containers. As you journey farther from the walls, more sentient and good robots appear. So I'm willing to bet that there's an amount of trickery on the walls/voice from beyond's part. Am I saying that the walls/voice are evil? No, it's too early in the game's story to tell. But there are definitely some suspicious things here, like the fact that Vertigo High-Rise's bots installed what appears to be a firewall, keeping away interference from the walls, likely to avoid the poisoning. Granted, there are some inconsistencies in these theories, like why the heart would want us dead if it's also made out of Flux, and why the voice from beyond would want us to destroy the heart if it itself is made out of Flux and all that. And while I do have answers to these, I'll save them for another day when I can find more proof. But for now, that's all I got for this video. I know it's kind of short, but I did just want to talk about the lore and how the pieces are kind of being put in place for us. I'm sure soon in future updates we will get the answers that we seek. But until then, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.